How do the Dallas Cowboys keep getting away with this? So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Dallas Cowboys pound Panthers thanks to a secret X factor for the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys defense started off the season on a historic pace, and although it has still been strong recently, it wasn't quite as dominant. In Sunday's game against the lowly Carolina Panthers, though, that defense looked just as strong as ever in a 33-10 victory. Facing off against a Carolina offensive line that has struggled all season, Dallas's pass rush absolutely feasted. The Cowboys made life hell for Panthers rookie Bryce Young, the top pick in April's draft, sacking him 6 times with 10 total hits. Micah Parsons led the charge with 3 sacks alone, while DeMarcus Lawrence and Sam Williams had 1 each. It wasn't just the pass rush feasting, though. The Cowboys also scored on a pick-6, courtesy of who else but breakout star Darren Bland, who scored his 4th touchdown on 6 interceptions this season. With his 4th pick-6 of the season, Bland ties a single-season NFL record with 7 games to go. Safety Donovan Wilson got on the fun as well by forcing a fumble on the very next possession. In total, the Cowboys held the Panthers to just 187 yards of total offense on the day. Despite falling to 1-9 with the loss, that ranks as their lowest total of the season so far. Dallas's offense had a solid day as well, but with the defense thriving once again, it didn't really need to be too outstanding. The Cowboys gained 311 total yards, which ranks as their second lowest total of the season. Dak Prescott put together a nice day with 25 completions on 38 attempts for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard had one of his better performances of the year with 12 carries for 61 yards and his 3rd score of the season. Brandon Cooks had a team-high 42 receiving yards on 6 catches, while CeeDee Lamb and Luke Schoonmaker both found the end zone. Meanwhile, Young completed 16 of 29 passes for 123 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Adam Thielen was his favorite target, as usual, with 8 receptions for 74 yards. Carolina's ground game managed to do some damage, racking up 110 yards on 23 attempts. Now at 7-3 at the season, the Cowboys next host the Washington Commanders for their traditional Thanksgiving game. Dallas Cowboys cornerback DaRon Bland tied the NFL single-season record on Sunday with his 4th pick-6 of the 2023 campaign. The play came early in the 4th quarter against the Carolina Panthers, who were down by 14 and looking to get themselves back into the game. Panthers quarterback Bryce Young targeted a Carolina receiver, but Bland intercepted the pass at the 31-yard line, executing a full somersault before charging into the end zone. Bland has plenty of time left to claim the record as his own, but one has to wonder how often opposing QBs will be throwing to his area of the field from now on. Buffalo Bills receiver Stefon Diggs is, to put a very fine and sharp point on it, warning his critics about discussions about the unsavory brew of trade rumors mixed with family business. Obviously, Stefon said, trying to douse the flames of his supposed disgruntlement with the Bills, people kind of handle things however they want. But tread lightly when you're talking about my family. Powerful stuff. But as Stefon is essentially telling the random gossips to stop, shouldn't the person who is most in need of heeding the warning be his own my family member, brother Trevon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys? Diggs is having to reiterate his commitment to the Bills even as they flounder about at 5-5, but his movement isn't forced by irresponsible media or goofy fans. Stefon's 4-year, $96 million contract likely means he's staying in Buffalo for the foreseeable future. His own words indicate the same, so maybe he should share those same words not just with the media in Buffalo, but also with his IR'd brother in Dallas. I haven't had a personal conversation with him, Stefon said. My brother is watching football right now. He's not playing too much. Obviously, he's coming from more of a fan perspective, but that is my family. I handle my family with the utmost respect. But alas, Stefon, you are not handling your family. Rather, you are chiding the media for doing its right thing when your time would be better spent chiding brother Trevon for openly discussing a Bills problem that you insist does not exist. If that is indeed true, Stefon, that you aren't plotting an escape from the Bills so you can land with the Cowboys, don't wrap the message in a warning and tell it to me. Pick up the phone and tell it your brother. The second story is Dallas Cowboys signed former Alabama linebacker to active roster. The Dallas Cowboys signed Rashaan Evans for their practice squad 2 days after linebacker Leighton Vander Esch sustained a neck injury in a 42-10 loss to the San Francisco 49ers on October 10th. Vander Esch hasn't played since getting hurt, and the Cowboys announced on Wednesday that he would miss the remainder of the 2023 season. On Saturday, Dallas announced Evans had been signed to the 53-player active roster, making the former Alabama linebacker eligible to play in Sunday's game against the Carolina Panthers. Evans played in the Cowboys' past 3 games as a practice squad elevation. In his first 2 appearances, Evans was on the field for 7 defensive snaps and 28 special teams plays. But in Sunday's 30-6 victory over the New York Giants, Evans was in the starting lineup and played 28 of Dallas' 57 defensive snaps as well as 11 special teams plays. For Evans to play against the Panthers on Sunday, he had to be on the active roster. The NFL allows each team to elevate 2 players from the practice squad to active status for each game, but no player can be elevated more than 3 times, and Evans was out of elevations. For the Atlanta Falcons last season, Evans recorded 159 tackles, tied for the 7th most in the NFL. He became an unrestricted free agent when the league's 2023 fiscal year started on March 15th, and he remained unsigned until September 12th. The Philadelphia Eagles signed Evans for their practice squad. On the same day, they put linebacker Nakobe Dean on injured reserve. But the Eagles released Evans 4 days later after moving Huntsville High School alumnus Nicholas Morrow from the practice squad to the active roster to fill Dean's starting spot. A 2018 first-round draft pick off Alabama's 2017 CFP National Championship team, Evans played 4 seasons with the Tennessee Titans before signing with the Falcons in 2022. Evans was the Alabama Sports Writers Association's Class 6A Lineman of the Year at Auburn High School in 2013 and a first-team All-American selection by the American Football Coaches Association at Alabama in 2017. The Dallas Cowboys could be looking for a new starting running back in 2024. As predicted by Pro Football Focus's Trevor Sikkema, he projects the Cowboys to select running back Notre Dame running back Audric Estime with a 4th-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Sikkema mentions how the Cowboys could be seeking a new back with Tony Pollard on the franchise tag. If Dallas allows him to walk in free agency, the Cowboys would only have 1 running back under contract for next season in rookie Deuce Vaughn. With Tony Pollard on the franchise tag and Ezekiel Elliott gone, the Cowboys could have a new lead back next offseason, writes Sikkema. They likely won't go into the draft without a veteran running back on the roster, but Estime would be a solid addition no matter what. He continues the trend of giving the Cowboys bigger players in this mock draft. Notre Dame has Estime listed at 5'11.5" and 227 pounds, but he's more than just a big back. He brings good vision and footwork which have yielded an elite 91.2 rushing grade this season. Estime is a big back at 5'11", 233 pounds. For perspective, the top 7 heaviest running backs weigh at least 235 pounds. During his junior season, Estime has racked up 988 yards on 163 carries, 6.1 yards per carry, to go along with 13 touchdowns. While he's not a shifty, versatile back like Dallas's current one, Pollard, he is the definition of a physical runner who can pound the football in between the trenches as Ezekiel Elliott once did in Dallas. Via Kyle Krabs of Athlon Sports, Estime is a dense physical runner who knows where his strength lies, writes Krabs in his scouting report of Estime. While he isn't particularly creative, elusive, agile, he's nimble enough, and he pairs that with good contact balance to spin, bounce, or parlay off of soft contact challenges. You don't necessarily get a lot of fluff with his running style, but you do get efficient carries that maximize yardage. The third story is Cowboys fend off poaching threats for former first-round linebacker. The latest Dallas Cowboys news has the team solidifying veteran linebacker Rashaan Evans' status for the remainder of the season. Evans had been on the team's practice squad, but the Cowboys are signing the defender to the team's 53-man roster. This means Evans will be with Dallas for the rest of the season. It also protects Evans from being signed by another team, with several franchises attempting to do so, per NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. NFL rules allow opposing teams to sign players to their active roster off of opponents' practice squads. The Cowboys are signing LB Rashaan Evans, the former first-round pick, to their 53-man roster, source said, Rappaport tweeted on November 18, 2023. Evans has been elevated from the practice squad the last few weeks, and several teams have been attempting to sign him off the Dallas PS. But he sticks with the Cowboys. This Cowboys news comes as former Pro Bowler Leighton Vander Esch has been ruled out for the remainder of the season. Questions surround whether Vander Esch's career could also be in jeopardy. Vander Esch and key special teamer C.J. Goodwin are both expected to miss the rest of the season. The Cowboys are likely no longer holding out hope that linebacker Leighton Vander Esch on IR with a neck injury